Hi everyone, a big welcome to our webinar tonight. I'm super excited to be sharing with you for the next 25 to 30 minutes a bit on my journey and my story. And I just want to say a big thank you for all those that are watching the recording as well. This is super exciting that we get to hang out online and, really get to connect by having an online business, which is super awesome. So tonight, at the end, I actually want to share with you a little bonus that I'd like to give away if something resonates with you. Okay, so tonight I really want to share with you a bit about my journey and my story, about how I've been able to create a really successful online business. And I really want to share with you also some top tips. I've got 5 top tips that I'd really love to share with you in regards to how I've been able to create this and how people can do the same, because this is a style of a business that it's not just about me, it's about the passion I have to help other people as well. So let me take you back to the beginning and where all this started and a little bit of my life before I started to do this business as well. So for myself, for those that have never met me before, my name is Abbi Hoareau. I am a mum of 3 beautiful children and a wife as well to my husband Brian. And I have actually come from a background in hospitality, and I worked 10 years as well in the chiropractic industry. I was a chiropractic assistant. I used to run businesses, and I used to do my own little business as well with the chiropractors in terms of recruitment and things like that. I absolutely loved what I did. I loved helping people. But one of the things that we probably didn't anticipate as a married couple was when we started to think about having a family and having children. I don't know if anyone else has been in the situation before where you are both on 2 good incomes full time, and then you get thrown to having a child and starting a family. And for us, we always wanted to, we'd always loved knowing that we would have a family, but financially we just didn't plan for it. Now, at the time, we also had decided to build a beautiful home near the city, and it was a gorgeous home, a double story, and a family home that we thought we'd be in there for the next little while with our family. But, it was about 8 years ago, and we built our home. I fell pregnant, had our first child, and we went down to 1 income. And at the time as well, what we found was that the interest rates kept going up and up and up. And we got to a point where we were in a lot of trouble in terms of our finances. I obviously wasn't working. We were on 1 wage. We were living that paycheck to paycheck life. And things were tough. It was really, really hard. And I remember there was times when we couldn't even afford to pay for the mortgage, and there was times when we had to borrow money from our families just to pay for some bills, pay for some credit card bills. And in the end, what we ended up doing was just racking up a lot of debt. So it got to the point, and this was after I fell pregnant with number 2, and we were really struggling, knowing that I wasn't really going to be able to go back to full-time work now having a second child. So we were in a situation where we had to just sell our home. And unfortunately, it got to that point where, life was stressful. We were, having those arguments about the bills were piling up, and we were in a stressful time of our lives. So we decided to sell. We started renting, which took the pressure off. And I then fell pregnant with number 2, and so we were having our second baby. And it was at the time as well, I was looking, but I wasn't at the same time, for something to do on the side. It did get to a point where I knew I had to contribute in some way, but I really didn't know what that look like? I'm not sure if many of you have been in this situation before where you know, you really want to go back and earn an income, but at the same time it's a struggle because you don't want to put your children in daycare, and you don't want to have to leave your children with other people, and you weigh up whether it's worth it by the time you pay for childcare and things like that as well, and look for something on the side. You kind of weigh up and balance out, well, is it worth the financial outlay? So, you know, it was something that I was looking for, but I just didn't know what that looked like. So one of my girlfriends actually invited me to her home one night, and it was when my little one was 2 and my second one was only a few months old. And she introduced me to an online style business where I got to, first of all, help people in a health point of view, where I was able to look at improving my health first and foremost. Simple. The simplicity of just adding more fruit and veggies to your diet, to me, made complete sense. So from that point of view, and from a product point of view, it was something that aligned with me. I'd been someone on a journey for a long time in their health, and I knew that I was always looking after my family, but always putting me last. So it made sense to be able to add more nutrition into my diet every day. But at the same time, I couldn't afford the product, and I absolutely fell in love with it. But at the same time, I wanted my whole family to be on it, and at the time, we just couldn't afford it. So the person that introduced me to this said, you know, why don't we look at, for $165 to start your own business, where you can just share this with people that you know, and people that you can connect with online, and see where this takes you. As I said, I really wasn't looking for something, but at the same time, I wanted to contribute. So I said yes to this and didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was quite skeptical. My husband was very skeptical as well at the time, but he actually worked for ASIC, which is the Australian Securities Investment Commission. And when I talked to him about starting my own business, his whole job, his role was actually to investigate companies that are scams. So this was really interesting because he thought, you know, I will check them out and I'll investigate to make sure that this is a legitimate company. So he went to work and he did his research, and he came back to me and he said, you know what, this is a company that's been around for over 40 years, and the product's been here in Australia for over 20 years. But from an investigation point of view, there is absolutely no complaints or no investigation that's ever been done in that whole entire time. And he said that is actually really, really unusual. The amount of companies that I actually have to go and investigate, there are so many complaints, so many things against them. And he said to be able to have that, I have complete, you know, confidence that this is a legitimate company, and, you know, I'll, you know, go for it. So with his approval, I just started to share this. I started to see a bit of a vision with what's possible. And what I absolutely loved about this style of business is that people completely believe in you before you believe in yourself. What's the best for you? And I'd never been in a situation, or I'd never been into a job opportunity before where people raise you up and recognise you for what you do. And I loved being part of that community. So I literally put one foot in front of the other. I started to share this with people that I knew. I started to share it with strangers. And quite quickly, what started to happen is that I started to build a small little income that just contributed. So at the beginning, I was paying for some bills and groceries that were coming in. And that just took the pressure off, you know, being able to contribute in that way to take the pressure off my husband was amazing. So that started to happen. We got to a position where I fell pregnant again with number 3, and I knew that this could be something if I really treated it like a business. So I put my business hat on and I thought, you know what, I would love to see where this takes me. And I really want to see what I can create with this. So I linked arms. I created a brand, which was Pyjama Mum Boss. And one of the things that I started to realize is that people around me, especially mums, wanted a way they could do this too. So all we did was create a community, create a community of like-minded people that wanted the same thing. And what started to happen was, it was a game changer. What I started to see is that at the beginning was that little bit coming in, but then quite quickly my income started to build up so much that we were able then to put an offer on a house. Now, when we put the offer on the house, my husband, first of all, put his wage in there, and the mortgage broker basically said, no, we're not going to be able to get that house on your wage. So after, you know, a number of months, I ended up having a little bit on the side, and I said, well, what about what I've been able to create in my business? And he put that on to see if that would make a difference, and it got us over the line. Now, that was a bit of a game changer for us, because what we started to realize is that we were working on, I was able to work on something that was starting to make a massive difference in my family. So we got the house. Once we were in the house, you know, my income started to pay for the mortgage. It started to then pay for all the expenses coming in. And for myself as a mum, that confidence of purpose and direction started to happen. I started to be able to really realize that I can really start create something magical here, because at the end of the day, this is a way that I can help so many families out of the situation that I'd just been in. And this was starting to create a lifestyle for us as a family that I never thought was even possible. So fast forward, you know, the 3 years into that, in my 3-year journey, I was able to get to the top position in the company. Alongside of that, I started to bring people into that role as well. So about this is that I get to impact a lot of people's lives. And for anyone that is willing to follow the blueprint, follow what it is to do to get you there and actually work on it, the world's your oyster. There is no limit of what you can do with this. 6 years on now, you know, we've got our house on the market. We're still actually selling this to move by the beach for summer. You know, we put the kids in private schooling. I'm able to earn a 6-figure income in my part-time hours. So I'm still able to do this in the times I want to do. I never miss a time with my children in terms of any special moments or any assemblies or carnivals and things like that. I get to be able to have the flexibility to work whenever I want to work. When I'm able to do this at night time in my pajamas while the kids are in bed, and connect with people around the world. This is a global business. When you do an online business, the beauty of that is the fact that you can be in any country and you can do this style of business like that around the world. We call it a laptop lifestyle. You can literally take your laptop and work anywhere around the world. So what we've been able to do as a family and what we've been able to create is extraordinary. It really is. It's completely changed our lives. And my mission and vision is so big now, bigger than I ever thought was possible. But it's coming to reality, because there's nothing better in this business to be able to see lives change. You know, for example, I've got someone in my team who, you know, the wife, she has been in the business for a few years, got to the top position in the company, earning a 6-figure income. But her husband as well loved the thought of being able to do that himself. Now, he's been in traditional business for the last 12 years, owning his own construction business, and he jumped into this and started to build this on the side. But what was happening is that he realized the freedom he could have by doing this style of job compared to a traditional job that owns you. You know, even when you have your own business that's in a traditional style, it still owns you. You still have to put the hours in to get the results. So after a few months, he decided to give up his 12-year business, a traditional business, and take this style of business on full time. Now they both earn an incredible income together. They both have flexibility to be at home with the children, drop the kids off to school, be around for assembly, and all those things that parents should be able to do. So for them, that's something that, even though, you know, money is a fantastic thing to have, and we all need money. Money is like oxygen. Without money, we couldn't have things. But it's the freedom and the opportunities you can have with your family. You know, we only have one life, and we truly believe it's about living it to its fullest. So that's a bit about my journey and my passion that I have for helping others to achieve an incredible life, and life that really is of your wildest dreams, because there's no limit on what you can do with this. But I want to just share with you 5 top tips, actually. 5 top tips that I truly believe that has set me up for success in this business, because at the end of the day, if you treat this like a proper business and you actually work on it, it's amazing what you can achieve. But you do have to have a business mind. You have to really think about this in a strategic way, so that you can build a strong business for a lifetime. You know, I'm a big believer in why not compound things. We are in such a mindset of to go to work. We're meant to, you know, do the whole thing for university after school for 4 years. We get a job that is going to be 40 hours a week. We do that for the next 40 years, taking 4 weeks off a year. And really that's a job. And we may, at the end of the 40 odd years that we work for, have some retirement. But if there was a way that you could compound that, if there was a way that you could work for the next 4 years and compound that income to be able to retire into the next 40 years, wouldn't that sound like a better way? And that's what we're doing. That's really what we're doing. We're helping people find a way that they can work on something so they can retire into. So my 5 top tips, number 1 is to create an online business. A strong one is to create and build real, genuine relationships with people. So what I mean by that, for number 1, is, you know, we're not here to spam people, to you know, talk about some sort of opportunity that's a quick rich kind of scheme. It's definitely not like that. This is something that you actually have to build on. Things I truly believe is that you've got to build real connections with people. This is a people business, and real genuine connections is what you want, because at the end of the day, you want to help as many people as possible. So the question would be is, who do you want to help? You know, for myself, I'm a stay-at-home mum, and my story has been that mum that's been able to do this around her children. So who I want to help is those people. I want to help mums. I want to help families. So building real relationships, connections with other mums is what you want to do, to be able to genuinely want to help people, and especially the people that are coming into your circle, into your community. So number 1, build those real, genuine connections. Number 2 is visualization. In vision boards. I'm a true believer that you need to visualize what you want in life to be able to get it. And one of the things I really teach my team is visualize, who do you want to work with? Who are the people that you want to hang out with? Because visualization is such a big part of what we do. I had one girl in my team that I got to start to think about the type of people that she wants to work with and build a team with. So it might be describing skills and personality of people and writing them down. And what she did was she wrote them down, and then she put them in her underneath her pillow, and she'd go to bed sleeping on and visualizing those people. And it was amazing to see that people started to be attracted to her just because she was putting it out there. So visualization is such an important part of what we do, because without vision, what's the purpose? So visualize what you want, where you want to go. You know, without vision, we don't have a purpose. You know, we may never reach that we have, but guess what? If we strive to it, we're going to get really, really close. Goals are things that can be measured. So I'm also a big believer in setting goals and setting those targets. But at the end of the day, without having a vision, you know, it's such an important part of what we do. So have that vision board, have the things that you want to go for, the things that you want to do in life. So that's number 2. Number 3 is 30 seconds of courage. Okay, so building a business takes courage, takes to be outside of your comfort zone. And that is something that's got to do with personal development. And that's another big thing that we do in our business, is teach you how to grow as a person. 30 seconds of courage means that some things that we do might be out of your comfort zone, you know, and really stepping out to talking to people, to making those connections, maybe doing Facebook Lives and those things. So courage might get you to where you need to be. There is so many times in my business that I've just taken those 30 seconds of courage, and it's actually changed my whole entire business because of that. So I encourage people to just step outside of that comfort zone, because outside of that comfort zone, you reach another limit. Then you get there and then you do it again. And that's how you grow, and that's how you develop, and that's how you build an amazing team. So 30 seconds of courage is number 3. 4 is having confidence and passion. People will be attracted to your confidence. This is part of what we call attraction marketing. You know, people actually buy you. They don't buy your product. They don't buy into your business. They buy into you. So what you want to do is be the product of the product. You want to be the face of your business, because when you start to show up as you, people will be attracted to that person. So be confident in what you do. Stand out, be unique, have complete passion, so that people will be attracted to you. They'll follow you. You know, you want to be that person, that shining light, that mentor that people come to. So number 4 is having confidence and having passion. 5, lastly, is building a culture. You know, one of the things that I was exposed to straight away into this was an amazing community of people that really were like-minded, that wanted the best for you, that believed in you. And the culture we started to create from that, people will want to be part of something that they believe is making a difference for people. So create that culture, create that purpose. Be someone that is mission-driven. Be a collective of people that are on the same mission, that want to help people. You know, when you collaborate, when you create that culture, you're unstoppable. You're changing one person at a time, but that one person at a time is changing communities of people. And when you start changing communities of people, you're making a difference in this world. And that's what it's about. It's about leaving that legacy. It's about making the difference that you can do that in your lifetime. My top 5 tips for building a successful business is, number 1, building real, genuine relationships and connections. Number 2, visualization. Know what you want. Have that vision in place. Sleep on it. Meditate on it, but visualize it. Number 3, take 30 seconds of courage. Your comfort zone. Do that consistently all the time, and you will grow as a person. Number 4, Be confident and passionate. People get drawn to confidence. People get drawn to someone that's passionate and is on purpose. And number 5 is build a culture. Build a culture of like-minded people, build a movement, whatever you want to call it, a community of people that are on a massive mission to help others. So that is really what it's about. That's what I get to do. That's what I wake up for every single morning, is to be able to do those things and help more people. This resonates with you tonight. If you're listening to this and you feel that this is something that you could possibly do, now remember, all those things help you create an income, help you to be able to change the way, you know, your family's lives are by creating that 6-figure income. And we can show you how to do that, which is amazing. So my bonus extra tonight, for those that are interested to know more about what it actually is, a bit about being involved in what we do, I would love to offer a bonus one-on-one consultation, which will be completely free. And that's a mapping out session for you. Okay, so that one-on-one coaching session with me would be a half-hour, 45-minute free session where we get to map out who you are. We get to map out what this looks like for you, what you want from this, where could this lead you, and offer that information and offer the support to get you where you want to be. So that's my little bonus extra. If you want to know more, please contact me via email or message me. That's set up as well for you. But I'm so grateful for you to be online tonight. I'm so thankful that you've listened to this, and I hope that's touched you in some way. Anything is possible. You just put your mind to this, see the world's change, because the amount of impact that you can possibly have around you is incredible. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time tonight. Bye-bye.